Let's do it.
We caught the front of that one. All right. This is the Night Owls Disc Golf Podcast. I'm Shane.
And I'm JP.
I like how you reversed my inflection on the emphasis on that last syllable. So, tonight is going to be a fun night. But before we get into any of the really fun stuff, let's talk about the boring stuff.
Okay.
Door_disc_golf. Night_owls_pod. And then DoorDisc.com. Those are all the ways you can reach us. We have Facebook, we have Twitter, we do all that stuff. They're pretty redundant to our Instagram because everything is ran out of the Instagram. I just share it to everything else.
Yeah.
So, and then the YouTube, just Night Owls Disc Golf Podcast or Night. Oh my goodness!
No, isn't it Door
Disc Golf? We're doing the Night Owls Podcast,
right? Yes.
So it's just Door Disc Golf. So we are in the process of acquiring a new camera. We're figuring out what camera we're going to use, or cameras. I don't know why I'm saying them that way. But
whatever.
As soon as we figure it out, we'll start recording, put them up on Facebook. I know it's been a long running joke that we have going on, but I swear it's going to come true. I swear.
It could come true.
It could.
Your dreams can come true.
Exactly.
Listening to Night Owls Disc Golf Podcast.
I've been clicking my red hills together forever. For some reason, it's just I'm not saying the right words. All right. So send us in bag reviews, interview topics. You want disc selections? Let us know. We'll talk about it. We're not the disc golf answer man. We're not going to answer form questions. Nope. We don't do that. Because we got to answer our own first.
Yeah.
So, but any question, and it could be an absolutely redonkulous question like Coke or Pepsi. And if you say anything other than Pepsi, you're wrong. But we'll go away from that.
What about like Dr. Pepper?
I'm for it.
Yeah.
100% for it. Fanta, absolutely. What's your favorite Fanta flavor?
Just orange.
Just orange?
Yeah.
You don't get into like strawberry or grape or?
I honestly don't drink soda.
Really?
Yeah.
You're boring.
I gave it up about 5 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
How come?
I don't know. It just did.
Did you just feel better than everybody else that way, or?
No, but I still, I think I was just trying to like cut out like quite a bit of sugar because like I would go over to my wife's, my in-laws, and like that's all we would drink. It's like I'd just grab a Pepsi or whatever, and I'm like, yeah. It just kind of like gave me gut rot after a while.
Oh, sure.
So, just quit.
It's actually funny. I kind of switch between water, Pepsi, or tea.
Yeah.
Because tea gives me like heartburn.
Oh, wow.
So I can drink for a couple weeks, and all of a sudden I start getting like acid reflux.
Okay.
And then Pepsi does the gut rot thing.
Yeah.
Where like all of a sudden I'm like, oh man, my stomach hurts.
Yep.
Like, and then I'll go for a while on water, kind of clean my system out, and then I go hard on whatever comes next.
And I think it's kind of for me, it's coffee. Like if I drink too much coffee, the acidity will start to get to me a little bit and make my stomach hurt.
Oh, my tummy's hurt.
Yeah.
The thing I found that I really love, I don't know if you've ever had the Coke coffees. I think you've seen me drink.
I've seen you drink them, yeah.
They're phenomenal.
Okay.
Like they're so good. And I don't know why I like them so much. But
I saw something in the store the other day that I wanted to try, but I was like, is it more coffee or is it more like soda?
Which one was it?
Maybe Coke or Pepsi. I don't know.
Pepsi does a Pepsi Nitro.
Yes, that's what it was.
Very misleading. All it is Pepsi without the CO2. It's nitro.
Yeah, it's like a widget.
Yeah, it's horrible. It tastes like flat Pepsi. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I've tried it.
Okay.
I was like, this is awesome because I thought it was coffee.
Yeah.
It's not. Just nitro, the gas they use to carbonate it is nitro, not.
Interesting, because that's what like a Guinness or like a Boddington's, they'll have that widget and you open it up and that's the nitro in it.
And it has that same mouthfeel that like a Guinness does, but it doesn't like that creamy.
Yeah.
But it doesn't satisfy the same way.
Okay.
Like for sure. Okay. Is this a products podcast or
All of a sudden we have sponsors.
Yeah, exactly.
gotta satisfy those sponsors.
Just hit us up, like all 45 of our listeners. I mean,
Yeah.
we will. We have more than that. Come on, I think.
We do.
All right. So send them in. Let us know. And that was an example of a random topic. So, JP, how do you feel about balance in disc golf? I'll let you take it from there.
Like balance in the force.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to have the dark side and the light side. Yeah.
Sure.
To every, I don't know. Or are we talking about just finding balances in like, hey, don't fall off the tee pad?
I mean, you just go from there.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know. It's good to have balance, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, everything, you can't have it sway too much one way, otherwise it's just, you always need to have counterpoints or counter opinions to anything, because then you don't want everybody always agreeing with you, because then you feel like you're just always, that's a weird.
It's a weird question.
It
but
is, yeah.
Very vague.
You're right. Kind of like a lot of other questions I was asked today.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh my goodness. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
So what brought it up was that.
Yeah.
Being very vague. But what brought up was that, but also I watched an interview today that was 3.5 hours long.
Oh my God.
I know. So I've been going down this YouTube rabbit hole.
Yeah.
So because that's my new shiny object for right now. I'm trying to figure out how to be the most effective when we really drop on YouTube.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I was watching was an interview with Mr. Beast, and the comedian.
He was in Joe Rogan a while ago.
Joe Rogan was a good one. I watched that one. But he was just recently, like post Death of the Queen. Like,
Oh, okay.
it's not Chris Anderson. Anyways, a comedian.
Yeah.
But he has a podcast called. Wow, this is really good. I watched it for 3.5 hours.
And didn't retain a single.
No, I retained a lot. Just
okay.
the name of it. But anyway, so he goes through and, he gives this whole like stories here and there, and they joke back and forth. But a couple of the things that he points out is that there was no such thing as balance in his life. He was 100% all about YouTube from the time he was 11 years old until now, he's 24.
Wow.
And that's all he's ever done. He said he was weird. He had no friends.
Yeah.
He was awkward. And he goes, he didn't realize it until he found other people when he was like 16 or 17 that were doing the same thing with YouTube. That it wasn't that he was weird. He just wasn't around his people.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So I said that about disc golf because I'm like, you get that bug for disc golf.
Yeah.
And disc golf is one of those ones where you use like 100% all in. Like when you first get that bug, most people are like, I need to buy every disc that I possibly can.
Yeah.
I need to watch and consume everything I possibly can about disc golf. I need to have my opinion about absolutely everything in disc golf. And I think we get a little ahead of ourselves sometimes with disc golf. Because I don't think disc golf is formed enough to be able to have those Mr. Beasts yet. Or, those Elon Musks, those guys that just devote 1,000% of their time. Right now, Paul Macbeth?
Sure. Yeah.
So, anyways, as the newcomers into it, you look at a lot of like the YouTube videos that are popping up, all that type of stuff. I think it's fantastic for the sport because it's exposure, and I think we're broaching popularity. We're right on that edge of mainstream-ish.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, anyways, I was just curious how you thought about balance in disc golf.
Interesting. Yeah. I don't listen to Joe Rogan, but I saw a clip of him talking to Mr. Beast, and that he's an incredibly grounded person.
Amazingly.
Yeah. Like he was talking to. He's kind of I don't want to say he's a cheapskate, but he is very much in his headspace about spending money and like how he goes about doing it or what he's giving away. Like he's very aware of himself.
I would say he's not materialistic.
Right. Yeah.
Is what it is.
That is.
Because
that's
he
true.
gives everything away.
Yeah.
And he's building an empire that, I mean, the podcast I listened to, he was offered $1 billion for his entire brand. So
Holy
him
cow.
included,
Yeah.
you know, and the multiple companies like Beast Burger and then the Beastables and the chocolate, the Beast Bars,
Yeah.
like, and the YouTube channels and the subsidiaries to the YouTube channels, like $1 billion.
That's
$1
crazy.
billion.
That is so crazy.
That is nuts. So
But then you owe yourself to that thing for however long it is. You know, that's what's crazy too.
yeah. Well, and he's saying, he goes, I hope to give away at least that much money.
Yeah.
By the time in 10 more years, I hope to give it away at least that much money. And he goes, and the fun thing, and I don't know why we're talking about YouTube, but we're going to go down it anyways. The thing that I was like, I would probably vote for him.
Oh boy.
He said, because they were like, what about president? He's like, yeah, but I'd wait till I was like 40, 45. And I'm like, he was like dead nut serious. He goes, who could beat me with a campaign of, I was a billionaire and I gave it all away. You know, like you can't buy me.
I still think, well, yeah, right. But I still think there's some issues and things on where you stand. That's the big underlying.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some people will be like, I don't even watch YouTube. Why would I care about this guy?
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's a lot of that. And, you know, speaking of politics, we got a survey from the PDGA. Good segue, huh? That's pretty good. So we got a survey from the PDGA. So that'll be one of the things we talk about tonight. USDGC, I'm excited for it. The approved disc list, we have a listener bag analysis, and a random question, hopefully. And if not, I'll have one. And so, thrower hanger flipper, what'd you buy? I know one thing you bought.
Yeah, I got a Castoplast Grim X, which is in K1 soft plastic, and it is flippy.
Is it?
Yeah, I got out and threw it a little bit today after work. Windy today again, a little slight breeze, but I really
Not as
like
bad as it has been, though.
No, that's very true. But yeah, it was like when I first threw it, I kind of threw it on Anheuser just see if it would flex out, because that's what I like to throw on most of my distance drivers, and it just held that Annie nice for a while, and then it just got that, not a hard dump, but it was just like nice
little
fade.
finish.
Yeah, and then got it to flip up, you know, on a couple hyzer flips pretty decent, and then nice S, and yeah, it's a good disc. So yeah, that's what I got, and then
And you got the Grim X.
Grim X,
Which is a 12 neg 1 or 12.5 neg 1.
Yep,
Okay.
12.5.
It's not the 13.
Pretty much, that's
two.
just the regular Grim, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it's pretty much destroyer realm.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty flat. It's good.
I'm excited to try that one because I've been kind of waffling all over the place with my drivers. And I've found that as I've put time and effort into the Wave, I realize that they're just too understable for me.
Okay.
They're a great driver. I'm going to keep one in my bag or two in my bag because I think it's that good turnover and hold disc.
Yep.
But they're just too unstable.
Yeah.
Like, so I gave my arm too little credit.
Okay.
So now I need to find that balance between like a fresh trespass and a Wave.
Maybe it's that wild honey.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I think the wild honey has finish,
Yeah.
but it flew very similar to the Wave.
Okay.
For
yeah.
me. I'm excited to try the pepper. Hopefully Bobby comes through with a pepper in the
Yeah, right.
in the mystery box.
Yeah.
And speaking of, by the time this airs, we will have the three individuals that won the Clash giveaway. We'll have all of their information to Bobby. So
Yep.
I forgot to do it today, but as soon as we finish the podcast, I'll send things over. Did you send the one you had?
No, I didn't, but I will.
Okay, we'll do the same thing. So by Friday, the time this airs, it'll be in Bobby's hands. So you should be getting your disc pretty soon, I would assume. So thanks for sending in the questions. Yeah, so I know I bought a disc this week. I just don't remember what it was.
Oh.
Oh, no, because that was the Athena. That was last week. You already
Yeah.
heard about that one. No, I didn't. I didn't
Okay.
buy a disc. So
Something else I've bought that will be used for disc golf, amongst other things. I bought rechargeable hand warmers.
was it the ones that Bobby posted on the Disc Golf Answer?
Well, I bought them before Bobby had put those up.
Those same ones?
That was actually for a Kickstarter for, I think, ones that lasted maybe a little long. They had a bigger battery, so they might have lasted longer. But same company, you charge them for 6 hours, and they're good for like 14 on like the lower setting. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I think those are going to be great for around here. I've been eyeing those up for a couple of years now. And they've always been like, they had the little butane ones, which were crazy.
Yep. Yeah.
But the little battery pack ones kind of intrigue me.
Yeah.
They've been expensive, but how much were yours?
Oh, I don't want to say they were that much. I think they were like 36 or 40.
That's not bad at all.
No, and charge them for 6 hours, and they're good for 14.
Okay. I ran into somebody, I don't remember if it's somebody that I know, or but it was last winter, that had them, and I thought they were one of the most awesome things. And what he did, he just put one in his pocket,
Yep.
and then kept the other one in his bag. And then when that one ran out of battery, he just switched them out. And he said they had about a 2-hour lifespan.
Okay.
Depending on how cold it was, how high he turned them up.
Yeah.
He said they had about 2 hours.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. All right. So USDGC. So I don't have much to say other than I'm excited. I'm excited to see the courses, the changes to the courses, and I'm also waiting for the USDGC rock to drop.
Oh, okay.
Because they've let out a couple little teaser things of other rocks, but they haven't officially let out the USDGC rock. And I'm waiting for the purchase of the coverage. Usually there's a rock included with those.
Oh, so the coverage is covered under your DGN.
Oh, is it Disc Golf Network now?
Yes.
Oh, so we don't have to purchase it.
That's why you're
waiting. Okay.
Yeah, and so that's why our subscription went up, right? Because I think that last year you had to buy in. It was still on DGN, but you had to buy, I forgot how much it was, $20 maybe?
Yeah, I think
15,
it was 20. They had them all the way up to like 100 or something like that. But
yeah, that's right. So
remember it crashed the network during the final because everybody started buying and jumped on.
And so yeah, I think it's included. That and Throw Pink are included this year.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good then. So then I'll just have to find the rock somewhere else. I was kind of waiting for that package to come out. Like, when is this thing going to come up? And then I didn't even realize it was included in DGN. That's funny because it's in the shop all day long. Like, we have it on either YouTube or DGN all day long. So, oh well. Yeah, so I'm excited about it. I love that course. They always do a lot of goofy things. I love the fact that they could care less about anybody's feelings or opinions about OB.
Oh man,
they could care less at all.
What hole? I saw a sign today, and it was like hazard, like all down left and right. It was like little like things of hazards. I was like, this hole is ridiculous.
Yes.
I think it was hole 14. I don't remember. It might have been. I don't know.
Yeah, and they put manufactured OB or hazards like right in prime landing zones.
Yeah,
stuff like that. So, and that is very common in golf. Not common in disc golf. Like disc golf, they're like, give me a landing zone. Like belly it out a little bit right here. So. No. What they're going to do is they're going to put it right exactly where a distance driver goes. So you need to make a choice. You're either going to go for it and get over those hazards, or you're going to shorten it up and throw a fairway or a mid to a landing point that's safer, and then go for the green from there. I like it.
Yeah, it makes you have to think a little strategy. You can't just bomb it out there as far as you can because you're going to risk. You're landing.
And then the fireworks that the Triple Mandel always brings is always fantastic. So I think there's a lot that course offers. And
are the mozzarella sticks still? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they won't take the mozzarella sticks away. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the mozzarella sticks are still there. I think they added some from last year as well.
I was going to say, I think only one person hit them the whole time.
Yeah. Well, in the top half of the field or something like that, only one person hit them. And it wasn't quite a dangerous hole. You add those in there, it didn't make it any more dangerous.
No.
What it did was kind of force you to play that straight shot at it rather than playing the big hyzer and let it.
Yep.
But that all had to do with wind, So, but all I got to say is I'm excited. I can't wait. Interviews were today.
Yes.
I watched a bit of those.
Okay.
That was fantastic. So I'm excited to see what type of amazing clips and hot takes that come out of them, because I didn't hear anything that was crazy to me. Everybody was just doing their thing.
Yeah.
So, all right, you want to get into the survey?
Yeah.
WTF, Richard. So
I know.
So for those of you who don't know, the PDGA sent out, North Carolina, University of North Carolina sent out
Western Carolina?
Yeah, Western Carolina, something like that. On behalf of the PDGA medical committee, and sent out a survey. And the survey was geared towards transgender athletes. And I was super stoked to see the survey come out because, like I've been saying, PDGA needs to step up.
Yeah.
And do something or say something, make a decision. And I was like, great, this is the first step. And then I opened the survey.
And from there, it just got weird.
I don't cuss. It was a shit show.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a horrible survey.
Oh my God.
The questions were leading. They prompted bias. It was just, they were bad questions. They were bad questions for being a information gathering engine.
Right. I think for what it was, because when you open it, it's like, this is a survey on transgender. And you're like, okay, simple enough.
Excited.
And then you open up and there's maybe 4 to 6 questions actually about transgender athletes in disc golf. And then how you feel one way or another based on, if they're received hormone treatment or not. And then you're like, okay. And then the next page, it starts to get a little uncomfortable.
Before we get to there,
okay,
let's go over the first, the 8 questions. Eight questions.
Yeah.
First 4 questions were about FPO.
Yes.
Which, for those of you who don't know, female pro open. Okay. So it is a gender protected division.
Right.
Okay. And it goes over a transgender female playing.
Yes.
How do you feel about it? Do you think there should be hormone testing? Okay.
Yeah.
Then they go to males divisions. We don't have male divisions.
Right. It's open.
So what MPO stands for is not male pro open. It's mixed pro open. Females can play. Anybody can play in mixed pro open. So my humble opinion is those 2 questions, looking back, hindsight, I'll get back to this actually.
Yeah, okay.
Once we go over the next set, then I'll get back to why I felt that these questions were leading.
Okay.
So go ahead. For the sliding scale.
Oh, yeah, that was great. Yeah, so all of a sudden you get into the next set of questions and it's like, okay, how do you feel you are? Was it 0 to 7, 1 to 7?
Yeah, 0 to 7, 1 being.
It was leaning far left one way politically.
Politically. They specifically wanted to know politically.
And then far right. And you had 1 through whatever the scale was. And I was like, okay, if I'm here, but there was no middle.
Right.
Really. It was like, there's 4 numbers one way, 4 numbers the other way. And you're like, I can't just be in the middle.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you had to choose if you were leaning more one way or the other. So that was interesting.
Yeah. And so this is where
yeah,
I was deflated.
Yeah.
This is exactly where I realized that this was an absolutely useless survey. Because what in the heck does your political leaning have to do with the sport of disc golf and transgender athletes in it?
Heck if I know.
And the PDGA.
Right.
So it might have everything to do with your opinion on transgenders, but it has nothing to do with with what the PDGA should do with the process of figuring out whether a transgender athlete should be allowed in a gender protected division or not.
It's kind of a weird. So what I thought of it was somebody on the PDGA board, not necessarily this guy that put out the test, was like,
although he was a PDGA board member.
He was a board member.
2021.
Yes. But I was like, is somebody on the board asking him to put this question in just to see where people lie? Maybe they side with us because I'm, lean this way or I lean that way. Let's just figure this out and see if we can't get some sentimental kind of feelings towards it or something. I don't know.
I'm wondering So I have done a lot of Survey Monkey, you know,
Yeah.
my past career and one of my current entrepreneurial endeavors kind of requires me to use Survey Monkey quite a bit. Just getting feedback, making sure. But some of the surveys we used to do on a university campus were student wide.
Yeah.
And we would always collectively come together as a staff and say, these are the things that we're trying to figure out. These are the questions that we need to ask. How do we ask them in the most neutral way possible? Plain and simple. But in those meetings, these questions were always led. And we had to be good enough, or there had to be someone there good enough to point out that what you are asking them is leading them into making a choice in the affirmative towards something that they may not believe, or making themselves feel like a bad person.
Which some of these questions definitely did.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I don't think they had that person that could take a neutral approach to asking these questions. We'll go back to the sliding scale.
Yeah.
None of these questions had to be asked.
No.
They had nothing to do with the regulation of transgender athletes. It had everything to do with the surveyee's political point of view.
Or religious point of view.
And religious point of view.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right. Because that was one of the, I don't know if that was the question right after, but it was, how many times a week do you, like...
How many times a week do you go to church? Or how often do you go to church?
Something like that, yeah.
And then they got into familial discussions, which I felt were absolutely inappropriate for the questions at hand.
Yeah. So, yeah, like you get through and it's like, okay, well, they ask you your gender and like other things, or gender, you know, what ethnicity or race you are and everything. And then all of a sudden...
Yeah, gender, race, ethnicity.
You know, it asked you if you were, or I think it asked if you were a pro athlete or amateur PDGA member. And then like one of the second to last page, it was like, okay, let's ask you about how you feel children should be raised.
Right.
Or
questions that were about how children should be raised.
Right. And then you had to take a very hard stance one way or another. It was like, okay, how do you feel? Do you feel your child should be curious or disciplined or, you know, like have good manners or, you know, something.
Well, it was like good manners or curious. And and they're things that
you just want your
yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, as a parent, I don't want to raise my kid to be a dick. Like, sorry for using that term, but it's like all these things are things that you would want to shape your child to like be shaped. It's like, do I want my child to be curious? Absolutely. I want them to ask questions. I want them to be able to have cognitive and critical thinking skills for themselves.
And emotional responsibility.
Right. Oh, that was the other thing. Do you want your be compassionate or have good manners? I was like, yeah.
Yes.
Everything. All these things I want my child to have.
Well, and it goes to, and this is what kind of parlayed my opening question is, how do you feel about balance in disc golf? Like, absolutely. I want my child to be emotionally sensitive. I want them to have manners. I want them, you know, I want there to be appropriate amount of discipline in my child's.
Yes.
You know, there's all of these things can be true at the same time.
Absolutely.
Why are those questions appropriate in this survey?
Yeah, I don't know. Because, well, even then, it's like you had to choose one or the other, but there was no gray area. Like, you couldn't just pick, like, well, I want this, or, you know, none of, you know, not applicable, or something like that. You know?
In a comment section, where was that?
Yeah.
Where we can clarify, like, yeah, so you give us a scale of saying, do you care? So they start out, no, let me get back to the MPO.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So they start out with the female, like, this is a protected division. Are you A-okay or not okay with a transgender athlete participating in a protected division? And it's a sliding scale, so it's doesn't affect me somewhat, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So if you put, let's say I agree. Well, now I feel like a horrible person because I agree that You know, like it's just one of those like, where's the sliding scale? Like, yeah, I agree that there should be some sort of rule that says whether an athlete can or cannot.
Yeah.
But when you have these gray areas, there has to be more discussion. It can't just be it's stupid or it's not. And when we get back in, so let me get to the MPO thing. So then we get to the MPO, and then they ask the same questions, but I don't feel the same way about MPO.
I don't think anybody would.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And
Yeah.
than I do with FPO.
Exactly.
But now I feel like an
Ask for
a-hole
feeling one way for one thing.
because I'm like, well, I don't care, men. Ugh. No, it's not men. It's mixed.
Yeah.
They can play in that division. It doesn't matter.
Right.
That's not a question in the PDGA right now. And that's not a question that this survey was about. So why is that question there? Like, it seems so asinine and backwards to me.
Yeah.
Like the way they're approaching this. It's a very...
Well,
They're probably sitting at their desks or their conference table going, we did so good with this.
Yeah.
And what they're doing is they're hiding behind the survey. No, like not appropriate. So anyways, let's get back to the political. So overall, I haven't hid my feelings about this survey at all. And I think that it was a very bad survey. I think the survey was politically charged, and I think it was very leading.
Yeah.
And whichever way you took it, I think the questions allowed yourself to take offense.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
I think so.
There was no neutrality in it. And I think that's going to skew a lot of people's responses. And I don't think it's going to be accurate or appropriate or useful at this point.
Yeah, I think it caused a lot more confusion than it answered questions of what actually had happened.
Right.
And I had a conversation with somebody quite lengthy. Like, there's a lot of double-barreled questions, very like we said, very loaded. Things were very vague, confusing. Like the language of certain questions was very confusing. I said, and they said, I think they're a college student at this time. They're like, this wouldn't fly and barely pass like anything in college right now. This is like a below average survey that would be given. Like, you'd almost receive a failing grade for this,
Absolutely.
And then I just kind of came back and said, I'm curious how the data is going to be used, what the PDGA is actually, if this is going to be used to formulate their opinion, which it shouldn't. They should already have their own opinion on it. They're just using this to gauge what everybody else is, when it doesn't matter. It's their opinion. But I will say that this might have been a survey that should have just gone out to professional players. Like, why do you need to have everybody's opinion when it doesn't affect us? Like, that's kind of how I feel. It's like, I haven't played with anybody transgendered or anything like that, so I don't know how to feel about it. And even if I did, someone coming into the division, it's like, well, they're just another person that I have to play against, really. But that's because I play an MPO.
Well, we're in a division that they can play.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, anybody can play. So I think the appropriate individuals to ask, they're pandering.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
But I think the appropriate individuals to ask are the ones that it affects.
Yes.
Those are the people to survey. That's it. Plain and simple. FPO, anybody that plays in FPO or FA, those are the people to ask. That's it. Like, what do I have to say about it? Because it's completely appropriate for them to play in our division.
It is.
Whoever it is. Anybody can play in our division. It's not a them or an us, Just come play. Like, who cares? It's a mixed open division or a mixed amateur division.
I will say that it is, to just kind of be devil's advocate, it is a good thing for FPO or like any FA division, because it is giving you that, anonymity to voice your opinion without, actually getting blackballed or canceled or whatever it is. Like, so, I mean, that's a good thing in a way.
Yeah. Oh, no, I agree 100%. I don't think that's playing devil's advocate. I think the devil's advocate would be if, like, this is a good thing.
Yeah.
This is a good survey. I still like it's like those interviews where you have a conversation with somebody, and we've all heard them. You have a conversation with somebody, or an interview with somebody that they're doing these like hard hitting interviews, and they just ask horrible questions. You see it on mainstream media a lot, where they just ask these horribly leading they're trying to push someone into a corner.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel this is happening. Like, you can give a good person bad questions and they look bad. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what this is. You know, like you said, those double-barreled questions.
Right.
Like, either you love babies or you hate puppies. You know, like,
Yeah.
like, it's like,
No,
okay.
I hate cats. Like, what's the deal?
Exactly. Like, it's just those weird questions. Like, I don't know, not that was a bad example, but like,
But it's something like,
it's just like, either you agree with this wholeheartedly or you're bad. That was kind of the way the questions were led. So I took it the best I possibly could. I tried to hold any animosity, towards whoever designed this out of my head. I tried to do it the best I possibly could, but you can't if they're bad questions or bad questions.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Well, the other thing that the individual that I had the lengthy like back and forth with, they're like, why didn't they ask a question proposing any kind of solution to this? Why wasn't that put in there at all? Like,
they don't care.
Yeah, like, yeah.
Yeah.
They just wanted, like, in a sport that wants to be inclusive and include everybody, they don't want to exclude anybody because they want to look good.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what it comes down to.
But I think that's the problem. They're trying to pivot when there's no pivot necessary. Mm-hmm. We have divisions that cover everybody.
Yeah.
And you have one situation that they just need to make a determination on.
Yeah.
One way or the other. It doesn't matter what they decide. They just need to make that decision. Now they have made this molehill into this mountain.
Yeah.
I mean, very, very figurative, like very literally have made this, this tiny little incident that affects truly a very small minority of disc golfers. Mm-hmm. Now they have made it affect everybody.
Yeah.
Why? There's no need for it. I wrote something in our text when we were having a conversation about it.
Oh, yeah.
So my humble opinion is they are trying to do this to save face and to save the PDGA at the elite level.
Yeah.
Because I think this, in my humble opinion, and I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. I think this is that straw that's going to break the camel's back.
Sure.
Because I think now they have politicized this choice figuratively and also literally in both ways. So not only did they ask, hey, what side of this political divide do you stand? Mm-hmm. But now they have divided the population of disc golf.
Yep.
And whatever decision they make, whatever side you're on, if it's on the opposite side, you've lost them.
Yeah.
Professionally or not, you have lost them on the PDGA.
Right.
So the Pro Tour is in an absolute primo spot to take over all elite competition without having the PDGA involved.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's kind of what was going to happen, though, isn't it? Like, PDGA was just going to be like the sanctioning, governing body with like
rules
that's
and everything. Disappear.
Oh, you do? Yeah.
I really do.
That's crazy.
I really do.
So then, DGPT would just take over all the sanctioning and
they'll have their own rules. They'll have everything. Because what does the PDGA offer at this point to the elite level?
Nothing really.
Ratings.
Yeah, and like they don't even want them.
That's it, and they don't want them. So this, in my humble opinion, is the split.
Yeah.
This is the catalyst to the reaction.
Yeah.
In my humble opinion. So, and I think it wouldn't have been if it wasn't for the survey.
Yeah.
I really do. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little Nostradamus or something, but
no, I mean, I could see, it's the light, it's the balance, it's the light in the dark.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you never win by not being honest. So, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe the identity of the PDGA is all over the place and they don't know who they are, so they can't be honest. But have you ever seen a company that waffles back and forth survive? Ever?
No,
Never.
No.
You know what companies survive are the ones that say, we don't give an F, this is who we are.
Right.
Like, we have set a standard of who we believe in, or who we believe in, or who our market is, and who we are as a company. And the heck with you if you don't believe, or if you don't like it. There are other people out there that can service you.
Yeah.
Not us.
Right.
That's it. PDGA is trying to play all sides. They can't.
They can't. No.
They can't. So we will see. We will see. That's me probably looking into it way too much and trying to add so much business.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
But it's a business.
As soon as they lose enough money, they'll make a decision.
Exactly. And I think they still hold a place in the amateur divisions. I think they always will. But that could be the stake in the coffin. I mean, the whatever, stake in the heart or the nail in the coffin or, all those other cliche statements. It could be the downfall, the slow, gradual decline of what the PDGA is doing. And I'm really surprised with individuals like Nate Heinold at the helm right now. Mm-hmm. Like, dude is very decisive. He knows exactly who he is and how he operates things. Why is that not translating to the PDGA? I mean, he's the president right now, right?
Yeah. Like interim president, right?
Still,
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, still holds all responsibility, right?
Yeah. So, something weird with the board is happening where there's just, too much confusion. And some people probably think they have bigger voices than maybe they do.
Right.
And then...
Or they're more important than they really are.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's unfortunate. Yeah, I respect what they're trying to do, but as all political gestures go, they're useless. Like as soon as they brought in the political divide, they lost me.
Yeah.
There's no way that I can back anything that this survey stands for at this point. Like I can't defend it.
No.
So better luck next time, I guess.
If there is a next time.
If there is, I know.
It always seems like the PDGA sends out little feelers like this for certain things. Like I forgot what the last one was. It's like, how do you feel about this rule change or that or whatever? It's like, put it in place and see what happens.
Right. Yeah. They always do the year-end surveys where they ask what could have been done better, or what could be, and then they get the idea of how do you feel about this rule, blah, 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 some controversial stuff. But outside of that, like, I don't know. So, but on a good note, Nico LaCastro, 6 months. So he'll be back in February. So he'll be back for basically the first, he will be back for Vegas. So there'll be the first tour event. So he'll be the whole tour next year. So
that's something else.
Yeah, well, we'll play the best thoughts and hopes for him. Yeah. How about that? We can't discount until the actions prove that he can't or won't or doesn't. So, all right. So I'm done with the survey. Like it's aggravating. It's actually one of the few times I've ever been kind of like, this is disc golf. Kind of like,
right.
I love disc golf.
And this is like the big talking point of the week. Right. Leading up to the USDGC. It's like, good God, this is how we're going into this.
Well, it stopped me from complaining about Innova, so. So
still have plenty of time.
Yeah, exactly. Don't worry, we got some stuff here. So, all right. So what we're going to do is go over the approved disc list, and it is up to September 19th. And what I want to point out is the sheer number of discs that have been approved is incredible. And not only that, how many companies do you recognize on this for approved discs?
Like there's
Innova. There's
there's Lone Star, there's Discraft, but there's a lot of new companies popping up. A lot. Right.
And congratulations, Trash Panda, Jesse. Good job. The inner core has been officially PDGA approved. So good job. It's the 4th disc down right after Pro Discus.
Yep, I see it.
And then the two I want to point out are the Tossie Frisbees.
Oh, yeah.
They are PDGA approved, the Tossie disc golf. So if you're not familiar with the Tossie is, they are LED and GPS compatible.
They are.
So those are the ones. Now there was, I can't remember, it was like Gobi. Man, back in the day, it was like 2014 or 15. There was a module that you could put in and out of the center of a disc. It was like an LED, whistle, or a GPS tracker, or a Bluetooth. That's what it was. Okay. Maybe it was a Bluetooth sensor or something like that.
There's a new company, relatively new company called Meep, I think it's called. And they have a little thing that you can put under your disc that I think either whistle. I'm not sure, but it might be Bluetooth.
Okay.
You can Bluetooth track your.
Yeah. This one was a disc that had all these modules, and you bought them, like it was a $40 disc. Okay. And then the disc you could buy, there were like 3 or 4 modules that you could plug into the disc. And it was built into the flight plate of the disc. Mm-hmm. Man, send it to us if you remember the name of it. But I remember actually giving Jordan money for it. It was something like, I don't remember what it was, but I told him specifically, I was like, I'm going to give you this cash, but you have to buy this disc with it. And I like pointed out the disc that he had to buy, and he's like, shut up, no way. And I was like, yeah, you do. But he was right when he first started playing.
Yeah.
I doubt he ever did, but maybe he did. Maybe he has one.
Oh my goodness.
But I don't think those were ever PDGA approved.
So these Tossie discs, the ones with the LED lights, they're fairly expensive.
They are.
They're like $50, $60 a disc, maybe upwards more. There's a model that is compatible with your phone. Yep. I think that will track your distance. It has a flight tracker on it or something and that disc I think is like $100.
That's the Tossie Smart.
Yes.
S7.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they've had them out for a while.
They have. I think I remember seeing, for whatever reason, on Facebook, they have the ads pop up, or there's a Kickstarter or something.
Yeah, they went hard on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah. And I remember seeing it, and they're like, hey, check this out. And I think I asked in the comments if they were PDGA approved, because I was like, why would I buy this disc if it's not? But I'm not going to anyway. But
yeah. I probably will, but just because I think it's pretty cool.
It is kind of cool. But.
And it is a lot of money, but yeah. I mean, you go down things like, so All for Frisbee is one. So I'm going to go over ones that I've never heard of before. Now, some of you may have heard of and just be like, But yeah, so All for Frisbee. Obviously Tossie, that's a new one. I've heard of it, but I've never heard of it in the disc golf realm. LB Sports.
Yeah, that's the next one that I noticed.
Goliath, I've heard of. Lone Star, of course. By the way, Lone Star, the blue bonnet, it's out. Tato Frisbee Golf. Birdie, I've heard of. The Striker, or the Strike, sorry. Premier Discs, never heard of. There's a Tato. Pie Pan Discs, which, by the way, great name.
Yeah.
Great name. Doomsday. So Wild Discs,
I hope all their discs are like gray and they have like a pie print, like pie pans, like Dimax.
All of them are like cherry, blueberry, peach, cobbler.
Will I be stealing the Clash disc?
Yeah, it would be. But they just add pie behind it.
Yeah, okay.
But like 3C GT discs.
Crown Me, Sunny Sport Company.
Yeah, Nordic. I don't know if I've ever heard of the Nordisk. Nordisks, never heard of that. Sector.
Don't think I've heard of that. So this Neptune discs, that's who Natalie Ryan is actually sponsored by.
Oh, really?
Yes, and they're supposed to have. I think they have one disc out now, and it looks like they might have a couple more. But yeah, I don't know.
I didn't think she had a sponsor.
Yeah, I noticed it on the back of her jersey at Maple Hill.
Okay, so she does have. They have one disc out.
Yeah, and they are. I want to say they're from Virginia.
Okay.
And she knows the guys that run it. Like she was kind of friends with them, and so
okay,
that's how that got there. And then Hooligan discs. I'm not positive. They might be made by Lone Star. Is that correct?
From what I understand, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Lone Star is on here quite a bit. So they have the Lone Wolf, the Copperhead, the Super Dillo.
Yep.
And then obviously the Blue Bonnet, which has already come out, which is a putter. So yeah, big fans. Glad they're doing what they're doing. So yeah, so there is a lot. So if you just go to PDGA.com and you just look up for their approved discs, and you can see them. So, well, I guess this is another thing that PDGA does.
Yeah.
Which they don't even do. They send it off to somebody else.
There's one individual
who
has done thousands of discs.
I would, and from what I understand, he keeps the discs.
Really?
Yes.
So he has prototypes of like everything.
Not even prototypes. They're like first stamps.
Yeah.
I mean, like the prototype of the prototypes.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I would love to just be a fly on the wall in that basement.
Oh,
or wherever
absolutely.
it is they keep those.
Oh man.
You wonder if he's one of the guys that like, I'll just throw them away.
Yeah.
They're worthless to me.
Yes. Oh, someone. I don't remember if it was Ben or Mike DiMatteo that mentioned we should try to get him on the show and ask him about it.
I'd love to.
Oh my God.
I have no clue who the guy is, but I'm sure I would love to.
Someone mentioned his name, I think, on Instagram. So yeah,
Okay,
it'd be
we'll pull it
interesting to yeah.
Or if you listen to the podcast, hit us up.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
All right. So, because what a dream job. Like, as a disc golf enthusiast, you know what's going to be really funny? Probably never plays disc golf.
Oh my God, wouldn't that be something?
That would be great.
I've tossed a few of them here and there.
My dog's gotten to a couple of them.
Oh yeah, for sure. They're just catch frisbees, right?
Yeah. I bet you right now he's like trying to figure out warehouse space for him, though, because with the amount of discs that are being approved this year is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, like 400 discs, and they have to send him 2 discs, and it's like that's 800 discs. That's incredible.
Holy cow.
So yeah, so there's our approved list. So listener bag analysis. So this one's going to be just slightly different. This is actually a father who sent in on behalf of his 21-year-old daughter. So she plays when the mosquitoes aren't eating everything up. So JP and I have surmised that she has discs that she's never played with.
Yeah, probably. Here, I bought you this bag, and it's got discs, and we're going to go out sometime.
He's like, we're going to go out. Not if there's mosquitoes. Okay, sounds good.
So you're talking winter, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Like late fall. Perfect.
So says she's in Italy and wasn't able to take it with her or ever use it before, so we were right. There you go. So this is a fantastic bag.
Oh,
so
wow.
this is a bag we have, like, even the person that we're talking to about their bag right now has no clue what we're talking about because she's never thrown the discs before. I hope this is going to be entertaining.
Oh my goodness.
So there he comes to, it's a Discmania Sensei, a Buzz, disc store stamp and die. You might want to throw that one away. We have some door disc stamp ones we can get you.
But what if it is a door disc stamp?
If it's a door disc store stamped one, keep it.
There's some place called just disc store.
There is a disc store, yeah. And then Prodigy A2, an Active Line Genius by Discmania.
Okay.
And then an Axiom Insanity Cosmic Neutron. I love the Insanity. That's a fantastic disc, especially for beginners. And for old guys like me. So he asked, what 2 discs would Shane add and what 2 discs would JP add to this starter kit? So I like all these discs.
Yeah.
I will give my mid-range choice. I would put a Meteor in her bag. The reason why I want to put a Meteor in her bag is it is a great understable flyer. And a Buzz is a very straight flyer for most disc golfers, but not for very new beginners.
Right, right.
The Meteor, I think, will actually give her some confidence by being able to get it out there a bit with a mid-range. And then the Axiom as well. So I think I would probably put something like a Tumbleweed in her hand, which is a neg 4. So it's a 9 neg 4 10 neg 4, 8 neg 4, somewhere around in there.
A tumbleweed, I think, is 10.
10 neg 4,
speed,
okay.
yeah.
So an insanity is a 9, tumbleweed is a 10, so similar, complementary, but I would put a tumbleweed in her hand by Lone Star Discs. The reason why also is the same reason. The Insanity is a fantastic disc for amateur to pro level players because they can get movement out of it. They can put it on angles. It's a very workable disc and a very straight flyer for slower arm speeds. But when you get into brand new disc golfers, that's still going to be a very stable disc for them.
Yeah.
Until they figure out their form. So put a Lone Star Tumbleweed or a Mongoose from Legacy in their hand. And I think either of those will be great disc. Because that'll give them some confidence once again. They let it go. They're actually going to see the full flight of the disc. It's going to finish for them still. So unless they're absolute phenoms just by the first throw. All right. Those are my two. What do you think?
It's so hard because, I mean, it's not hard, but not. This person's probably just a straight up beginner, right?
Absolutely. Well, so you say she's never
never actually used it. Well, never actually used the disc, but maybe she's played.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's hard to say.
I'm going with the assumption that she is
just straight up
as new can be.
Yeah.
She did ask for a starter kit.
Okay. Yeah. So I love the Sensei. I bagged the Buzz. A2, that's fairly overstable.
It is.
Genius, that's really understable. I kind of like the Mockingbird from
Lone
Star.
Okay.
I think that's a fairly decent kind of understable to neutral, or even maybe like a Dose X, something a little faster, but you're still gonna get turn, but it's just kind of stable enough that maybe she could try it out.
Yeah. I'd put the Dose X right alongside the Insanity.
Yeah, it's kind of
very similar
along those lines.
Probably less stable than the Insanity, but just depends on what plastic with the Insanity.
Yeah, right. And like you would put the Meteor. I was going to say something like the Paradox or the what's the other one? Uplink.
Uplink, yeah.
And there's one other one that's fairly understable. Not the Hex, because the Hex is still more
Hex is like a buzz.
Yeah. But I thought there was one other one that was kind of around that are just good understable. Even an Origin from it says it's the same numbers as a Buzz, but it's still gonna be understable.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to throw anything too overstable mid-range wise in there.
That's why I don't have a problem with the A2, because the A2 is one of those.
Yeah.
Those overstable approach discs are good for anybody to have.
It is.
Like they take the guesswork out of.
And depending on the plastic, if it's like one of Prodigy's lower plastics, it can beat in to be pretty straight, but yet still have a good fade to it.
Right.
So I think that's the other thing too is, he said Cosmic Neutron, Insanity, like Disc Mini Active, Genius. You don't know if it's that premium or baseline active, but you can't go wrong with them. And those active line discs, like, they're cheap. So if they do get starting really understable or like beat in really bad, they're like $8 each to go replace.
Yep.
So
yep. Yeah, you can replace those. So this is Michael Strazier. Is that how you would say that? Strazier? Strozier?
Yeah, something.
Yeah, so Michael, what I would say is, yes, stick with something that we get understable. Now, we don't want to teach her bad habits right from the beginning with going too overstable, too understable, because then they'll develop a curse that I have where I have to throw everything on hyzer or else I don't feel comfortable throwing it, or throw everything on anhyzer because I don't feel comfortable throwing it. So you see that a lot with new or beginning players where they'll put massive anhyzer either on a chop forehand and they get the most stable disc. As a matter of fact, I put a reel out today about like a beginner coming in and wanting a Raptor and trying to be like, hey, here's a Heat. Like, why not try this?
Yeah, that's a good disc too.
Yeah, and that's a great disc. That would be an appropriate disc for her as well. And then another thing, I know this is going to sound really vain, but depending on the personality of the individual, like sometimes cool, cute, discs are good.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm using cute because it's a girl, but like cool, fun looking discs are cool. Like they appeal to beginners more. Mm-hmm. And the Sensei is super boring. Like I've never seen a cool looking Sensei.
Oh,
like that active line it all falls flat for me. Like the Maestro, like there's nothing like, it doesn't like, ooh, this is awesome. You know, like I don't want to show my friend the stamp.
But in terms of like Discmania originals compared to Disc Player, it's just, hey, like a stock stamp like P2,
right?
It's much better.
Yeah.
And the stamps have actually gotten a little better on some of those active line discs than what they used to be.
Yeah, and you know,
but
like, you know, like Lone Star's on point, like Discraft's on point. Thought Space is fantastic.
Yeah, even MVP Axiom, they're good.
Yeah,
but
because their plastic is beautiful.
Yeah,
like their stamps, I don't care what their stamps look like. Their plastic is gorgeous.
Yeah,
you know, and then you can get in some of those like Dino discs and stuff like that, which those are like just fun, cool discs.
And those are,
you know,
and those Dino discs are coming in lighter weights for beginner arms, so you're not, you know, having to throw a max weight disc and be like, oh no, it's dumping over on me super hard.
Yeah, and they just feel deflated. So that's the one thing when we talk about bringing new people. When I talk about bringing new people in, you never want to deflate them by handing them a disc that won't do anything for them. That's really, really hard and tempting to say, throw this destroyer, most popular disc.
Yeah.
You know, don't give beginners destroyers. Like,
that's why they always say throw your putting, you know, have them throw putters first, get the feel.
Exactly.
They're really forgiving.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And like the Sensei's are really neutral flying. It's got decent glide, decent speed. I mean, just have her start with the slower speeds first, work her arm speed up, you know.
Yep.
Standstills, get into that, you know, work into the X step eventually, but just let her take her time and get comfortable with whatever disc she really wants.
Yep. And just let her have fun.
Yep.
Let her have fun. So it won't be fun if she doesn't make it fun.
Yeah.
You can't make it fun for her.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
You can expose her to it. You can give her the best things you can, but you're just not going to, like, my wife still doesn't like playing. I don't know why, you know, just no clue why. She just doesn't like playing. So it is what it is. You know, I'm not going to force her to play. I'm not going to try to make it fun. So
Alyssa will come in the backyard and maybe throw a couple discs here and there, you know, at the practice basket, but she doesn't want to go out and like actually throw or play around or anything like that.
That's the same thing. Sandy will come out and she'll goof around. Like we'll throw discs every once in a while, but that's it. So
exactly.
Yeah. But there you go. So that's what I think, Michael. So I give you the Meteor or the Mongoose or Tumbleweed. They're essentially the same as far as numbers and everything goes. It's just whichever one you like the stamp better on. The Tumbleweed has a pretty cool stamp, but so does the Mongoose. And then the Uplink. And as far as plastic goes, it doesn't matter.
No,
you know, it doesn't matter. Usually the more premium plastics have better stamps on them.
True.
For most
another disc I was just thinking of was the Sidewinder.
Sidewinder, yes, absolutely. Yep. I won't promote any Innova on this.
But it's a fairly understable disc for a newer arm.
You're right.
That's good.
Like a Sidewinder, you know, you could recommend a DX Beast. You know, you get into those, the Valkyries, those type of things. Those are all.
Which one's the disc that floats on water? Dragon,
Hydra, all those. So
Penny Putter.
The Penny Pud, any of the Victor Plastic from Lone Star. But no, I'm joking about Innova. Go for Innova. Innova is good. You can find it everywhere. And if she likes it, awesome.
Oh, yeah, it's readily available. You can get it at like Walmart or any big box store almost.
Yeah. I just have an issue with their business model.
Right.
So there you go. And that's that for the listener bag analysis. We have a couple more in stock, so get them in. We can keep putting them behind. And like I said, we have winter to go. So if you want 2 episodes to continue, get us these questions, get us these bag things. So there will be some weeks where we won't have them. I am going to be having a shoulder surgery. So there'll be a couple weeks where we might have to stock up on some episodes, but that'll happen in the off season. So no big deal. All right, with that being said, we'll get into our random question. Do we want to use one of the old random questions? Because I don't think I received one yet. So.
Oh,
wait, I did. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
At the fair, you throw ping pong balls into cups.
Yeah.
Usually those cups have fish in them.
Yep.
Do fish have feelings?
Oh boy. Do fish have feelings? Uh-huh. Isn't it said like goldfish have like the shortest attention span in the world or something like that?
I don't know. I've never asked one.
I don't know. I feel like I've heard that somewhere before.
I have too. Yeah.
Maybe they wouldn't remember what feelings they had.
True. Yeah. I'm so what?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they probably only really recognize that they're hungry, and that's the only feeling they really have.
Hungry and bubbles.
Yeah. Or, or maybe they get scared because you tap on the glass and all of a sudden they like dart around or so maybe.
Not supposed to tap on the glass, JP.
I know.
They had a movie about that. Finding Nemo.
Yeah. Fishy. Wake up. Yeah. I don't know. I think they do.
So now, let's clarify.
Yeah.
Feelings. What are you talking about?
Like, it's interesting because obviously they mate, so they gotta feel something. Well, maybe they don't. Maybe they're just like,
they don't like.
Yeah,
they don't bump uglies.
That's
they like
true.
Eggs and
then spray them,
pollinate.
Yeah, crop dust.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's true. So yeah, that's not any. I mean, mammals are the only ones that really do that for. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I don't think I'm educated enough.
I need a definitive answer.
I'm gonna say no.
No feelings. Okay.
I don't think so.
Dang it! Now this means I gotta say yes.
You don't have to.
What? You're right. I don't have to because I can't. I can't.
Yeah. I mean, Jaws doesn't feel anything towards sea lions. It just goes for sea lions.
He felt something when that propane tank exploded in his mouth. See? No, it was a dive tank. What was it?
Yeah, that's what it was. It was
a dive tank.
It was a dive tank.
It wasn't a propane tank. Okay. It was an oxygen tank.
Yeah.
So I say yes, they can feel stuff, but I don't think they're emotionally savvy feelers.
Yeah.
So I don't think they have emotional feelings. I think they have pain receptors. I think they have a nervous system. So yes, they feel, but I don't think they have feelings.
I think like seahorses do.
Have feelings?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. I think I've heard that they do.
Really? Mm-hmm. Is it like cry at night because they're lonely type feelings, or
like companionship, like feeling of companionship and.
By the way, we're gonna make some like, what do they call those people? The animal people.
Like PETA.
PETA, yeah, we're gonna make some PETA people mad. I think talking about this.
They're gonna.
Or
it's not like we're wearing
the pescatarian or the.
Oh, I don't think we have to worry about those people because they don't care about the feelings. They just eat it.
Oh, that's right. No. That was
PETA cares if you wear like real fur.
Do they?
Oh yeah.
Was that the whole paint thing? They throw paint on you, right?
Yeah, animal cruelty.
Yeah. Because I know there's this whole PETA feud on TikTok when I still had TikTok. I used to love there was like this angry PETA lady that was always screaming at people for stuff through TikTok. It was fun. So anyways, back to fish and feelings. No, I don't think they have feelings. Yeah. But seahorses might. I don't know. Because seahorses are kind of cute.
Yeah. I don't know if that's classified as a fish or what it's classified as, but it's an underwater being.
I wonder if it's just an invertebrate. I wonder if it's like a crustacean.
Yeah, it could be.
I feel like as a person with a biology degree, I should know these things. Who knows? All right. So, so I'm going to officially say no feelings. And I think you're officially on the no feelings realm too. So, there you go. So we're insensitive people. We have feelings, though, so be careful. Don't call us bad names. All right, shop updates. Here we go. We got dynamic discs coming in. So we got the Orbit Felons coming in. Oh, excuse me, the Raptor Eye Slammers coming in. We have the Halo Saint Pros Kristen Tatar coming in. We have the Supreme Raptor Eye Judges coming in. And then, which I have already claimed 2 of those. So sorry, they're not even going to make them into inventory. I'm going to find the best ones and take them. And then, and then we're updating the website. So here's a real cool thing. Came about in a really bad way. Not a really bad way. It was really bad for the individual. Like, it sucks. It was horrible. Mistakes happen, but he was sent the wrong Athena. So he actually purchased multiple Athenas, and one of the Athenas did not match the other 3. Somehow the stamp was mixed up. He wanted the same stamp on all the discs, which was really unfortunate. That's what he ordered. We didn't get it to him. We fell short. That sucks. I apologize. But with all bad comes good. We had been preparing for doing a better inventory system with the website upgrade and having barcodes that would allow us to individualize or have unique barcodes for every disc in the shop. Well, as long as they were unique, for every unique disc in the shop. How about that?
Well, I even remember when I got my Grimex, it was like gray. And they're like, there is no gray in here.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah. So, it's just those little things because, when we have a shop full of people and they're checking out, we had to actually physically search the discs on our inventory and pull them out of inventory.
Yeah.
So now it's all barcode based. So we scan it and then it basically takes it out of our system automatically. And as we're putting it in, we print the barcode that matches the description of the disc we're holding in our hand. And we pop that barcode on there.
Nice.
So it is a good way to keep us accountable for getting the appropriate disc to the people. So that is all coming along and it's working out nicely because in the background, I am still optimizing our website, our new website to handle all of this stuff. So hopefully we'll be seeing it probably, especially when my shoulder's down, I'll be sitting in front of a computer quite a bit. I'm not going to be outside or doing anything. So probably for about 2-3 weeks, I'm going to be sitting right in front of the computer. So I'm assuming we'll see it sometime January. We'll see the new website launch.
Okay.
So it's coming along little by little. And outside of that, I don't have much else. You got anything else?
Not really.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
I haven't been working on anything.
Why not? You haven't shaved your toes lately or what?
Nope.
What?
Just
Man.
Things have come up that I just haven't had time.
That's gross.
Yep.
He's talking about his OnlyFans, by the way. And that's why you know that's gross.
Yep. No, life is busy right now.
Okay.
That's all.
All right. He's just letting his fans down. So how much money are you losing by not posting?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not making anything really right now either. So,
all right. Well, keep an eye out for that because January 6th, right?
Something like that.
January 6th or 16th.
It's going to be really awkward how I have to describe this. Like, why are you making an OnlyFans? Well, because I promised to all my...
Well, we could just name our Patreon.
The OnlyFans?
The OnlyFans.
Oh, yeah.
I think that'd be completely appropriate.
That could be.
All right. With all that said, we will be launching some sort of listener fan base so you can interact directly with us on the 1-year anniversary. And we're going to do it in a very fun way. So keep an eye out for that. JP has been taking a lot of pictures of his feet. It's really gross. And keep us up par. Peace.